What's up everyone, DarkSynth here, and today I'm going to teach you how to improve your fireball game if you happen to play Ryu or Ken. I'm going to teach you some techniques to avoid getting jumped in on and just make it to where you're able to DP your opponent consistently or anti-air them. And yeah, so let's just get right on into it. So typically players just like to go ham and throw fireballs sometimes, but a good player will do what's called a feint, and that will be our first technique for this video. Instead of just throwing fireballs constantly, you want to add in a feint, like a light jab. This will fake your opponent out and make them think, oh, he's gonna throw another fireball right after, right? And this can make them jump, so you just don't throw a fireball and then you anti-air them when they jump. So then once you condition them to do that, you can just go ham on fireballs. You know, just throw some jabs in there, and if they don't jump, you can just, keep throwing your fireballs. And that's like what playing Shotos is all about. It's all about having a good ground game and just being able to space yourself out and use fireballs really well. And a good range to use them at is around like here. You kind of want to use them outside of their poke range for sure. And again, don't be predictable with using fireballs. Throw in some feints, but definitely use some fireballs around here because that's where they're unreactable. But definitely mix it up with pokes. Use some pokes here and there, and mix it in with fireballs as well. So next I'm going to talk about what's known as a fireball trap, and how you do that is you space yourself out, and it's around this range you want to do it at. But if your opponent happens to block a light fireball at this range, and you do a heavy fireball right after, you have time to react if they jump with the anti-air. So I have Ryu recorded doing 2 fireballs, and I'll show you at which range that this will and will not work. So I'll show you the range that it won't work, which is around here. So if Ryu goes to throw 2 fireballs, so obviously at point blank it will not work. So what you want to do is you want to space it out. So when you space out a light fireball, you want to instantly buffer into a heavy fireball. So once the light fireball hits them is when you want to push heavy punch. Before the fireball even gets to them, you want to be buffering the quarter circle forward. So right now, before the fireball even touches them, you want to be buffering the quarter circle forward motion, and then just as the fireball hits them is when you press the heavy punch. So if you time that right, and you do it at the right spacing, but they have to block the initial fireball first. So if you do that right, it'll look something like this. So it should look something like that. If they happen to block a fireball around this range, and then they throw another one and try and jump in, that's a no-no. So that's something you definitely want to know as a Shoto. But yeah, just to reiterate, use fireballs close up, but don't be predictable, and use feints like a standing light punch, and use the technique that I just taught you, the fireball trap. The first initial fireball has to be a light, and if they happen to even jump over the fireball from this range, you should be able to recover in time, because most characters don't really have a limb long enough to reach from this range. Some characters might, like Dhalsim, but his jumping's slow. But I'm rambling. Anyway, just throwing the first initial fireball, make it light. I don't think you ever want to use the medium fireball when you're playing Ken or Ryu. It's always the light or the heavy. And always mix those up. Don't always just initiate with the light, you know. Use some heavies too to throw off the timing. And yeah, that's all there is to it with Shotos, really. And just make sure you get your spacing down with your normals. But That's it for this video. If it was at all helpful, consider leaving a like as it helps with the channel. Subscribe for more tips and tricks like this to help you improve at fighting games. This is Darksun signing out. Take care.